We got two more NFL games for Sunday, January 21st to decide the NFC and AFC Championship Series. We got the Lions versus the Buccaneers and Bills versus the Chiefs for the nightcap. Both should be good games. Let's get started on this five-man. Three of these five props I use daily grind fantasy. If you guys want more information, there's the link on the description. It is a great tool, one of the best tools out there. So let's get started. And my first one, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. And I'm going to be taking his pass attempts. Another good option is obviously his passing yards at 254. It's been bouncing up and down the past couple of days. I've seen it at 253, all the way to 260 to 262. Now it's down to 254. But I'm going to be taking his pass attempts at 36. He's been averaging close to 40, especially during playoffs. Last time he did face against Buffalo, he had 43 pass attempts. So I'm going to have this going over at 36. My next prop will be his opponent, and I'll be taking Josh Allen. And for him, I'm going to be taking his fantasy score. And his fantasy score is at 22. He's been averaging the mid-20s. Seems in the playoffs, he takes it up a notch and takes it up to close to 30. He had a 33 against Pittsburgh. Obviously, Kansas City is not Pittsburgh. Definitely going to regress from this 33, but I still think he's going to go over 22. This is a primetime matchup, Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. I think both of them are going to shine. It's going to come down to the wire. So I'm going to take Josh Allen over fantasy. Third leg for this five-man is Josh Reynolds. And I know all the focus is on Amon Brown, but Josh Reynolds is a good secondary wide receiver. Amon Brown is going to be heavily covered. So I'm going to take Josh Reynolds receptions at 3. I like it. I think this is going to get bumped at 3.5. But at 3, worst case scenario, he pushes. But I see him going well over 3 in this one. Fourth one I'm going with is Clyde Edwards. Last time we did take him, he did cash for us. I'm going to go right back to him. But this time I'm going to be taking his rush and receiving yards at 14.5. Last playoff game against Miami, he had 26. I believe he took his receiving yards and he cashed for us. So at 14.5, I'll be taking the over on this. This is the tool, the props that I use, the tool Daily Grind Fantasy. It has a 54.1% hit rate for Clyde Edwards to go over on his rushing and receiving yards combined. My final leg will be Stephon Diggs. And for him, I'm going to be taking his fantasy score, but I'm going to be taking the under on him. And his fantasy score is at 14.5. I think in the past 5 games, he's only gone over once. Last playoff game was at 12.2. Given it's a tough matchup, I think he's going to be heavily covered. Same thing with Amon Brown. So I'm going to be taking his fantasy score under. I don't really like taking under, especially on playoff games. But Stephon Diggs has it under. Daily Grind Fantasy has it at 52.8% hit rate to go under. So I'm going to be taking the under on that. So these are the 5 that I like. Patrick Mahomes over pass attempts. Josh Allen over fantasy. Josh Reynolds over receptions. Clyde Edwards over rushing and receiving yards combined. And Stephon Diggs under fantasy. So mix and match. Pick your favorite. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the support. And I'll see you guys in the next one.